you open to see, are you smart? Oh, so don't change your hair for me, not if you care for me. Stay till Valentine's Day, 'cause each day is Valentine's Day.
When I'm like writing out my poems, or I really see as sort of like diary entries that sometimes rhyme, and sometimes I just get a prompt or I have a conversation with a friend, and I'm just like, that would be good in a poem. So this one it was a prompt I had in my sort of like running notes doc for like a year, and then I came back to it a few days ago, and then this is what flowed through. And so this one's called Catharsis. The first place I ever lived was in my head. Even before I had my own bed, I knew nothing of agency or autonomy. I learned obedience instead. You better follow those rules. God is watching. He will strike you dead. That's what I learned. That's what was said. But you didn't come here to consume my trauma. You still have to muddle through your own. That one memory you dread, I'm still cutting through the fat, all the lies that I was fed. Not trying to see through rose-colored lenses, also not trying to see red. Might fuck around and undo some generational curses if I feel so led. This is an extremely small portion of the thoughts that sprint through my head. Trying to be patient through the process like I am with these dreads. Locks on my heart have done nothing for the wonderful relationships I've bred. Making sure I'm using this heart on my sleeve before I'm laying in that casket dead. Weaned off a couple years ago, so maybe this is what I sound like off the meds. Antidepressants, yes, this information is now declassified just like Ned. No shade, no tea, but I think I have this room read. Sorry, my poems are just about as cuddly as that one character, Ted. I ran out of things to rhyme with, so I'm just gonna throw in a Z. Okay, I'm done being your vessel of vulnerability. Now give me my cred.
Here we go. It's called Tired. I wrote it in light of Black History Month. Black bones rattling, infused with fire, phoenixes formed from our flesh. Black bones feel used and mirrorless in wrong rooms, most rooms for far too long. Black bones been tired, but they still ain't woke. I'm tired. I'm tired from clenching my jaw. I've been tired from letting my tongue tighten between closed teeth, forcing a smile. I just need rest. A rest like my elders who came before me, who walked on the bus and said no more type of rest. A rest different than the ones scattered in crimson worth their weight in mahogany, with a familiar smell of sadness and taste of salty oceans. A rest so deeply needed it must be taught to tired legs, kicked, ran, marched, and stomped proud even while being picture perfectly presented on stage or blankets at parks. While wanting nothing more than for history to reverse itself, yet on this stolen land, they play pretend as though backs never cracked on the streets built beneath trains, and while being faced with truth, it still hasn't sunk in. This short month and every month after, I will celebrate us. I will sit in front of the bus, press, sing out loud when in a grocery store, wherever else my headphones may take me. Rest. Take naps, water my plants and my body. Just rest. I will learn how to take care of me in a system that is not meant for me to be prosperous. I will rest intentionally because I am tired. Thank you.
I do a little preface. I want to preface this with that I've recently outlived my father. He passed away at 33. He never saw 34, and this year I might see 34, God willing. It's odd to know I'm older than he ever was on this planet. I've officially outlived him for a few months. It's a bittersweet blessing, and here are some poems. I think I'll read 2 poems really quickly. The first. People and things I've lost along the way. I lost my father at 4, then lost my innocence at 8, followed with my inner voice at 18, lost my first love at 20, lost myself at 22 and 23, then lost my chance at motherhood at 25. Losing myself became a daily occurrence at 26. I sunk into being lost at 27, and I found I could continue this losing battle or attempt to win the war of my life. Losing is now only a vocabulary term. Now I'll just remember being lost, and instead marvel at me, finding and winning me, finally. That's number 1. I should have prefaced it with like, sorry, it's gonna be a little sad, but we all have a little sadness in us, I think. So I love every single poet who read tonight, just because they were so honest, and you could tell someone who writes something that they come from somewhere in your heart. So I do want to say that I really, really, really appreciate that, because yeah, it's just the truth. And some of us are living in the real world and some of us are not. Okay, number 2, titled, How Did I Even Make It This Far? Disbelief that my father truly was 33 when he was no longer my father on earth, but somewhere else, some other place none of us know, some distant dark place where I wonder, are we reunited? Do we find each other in others, in nature, in poems, in the songs he danced with my mother to? What is it to be robbed of a love guaranteed? How did I even make it this far? Time pushes us forward with no regard for us, holding on to yesteryear. 32 is running towards me, and what if I too don't make it? What if I too don't make it? What am I leaving behind? He only left blinding light, stories of every kind gesture, fierce friendship, a love for my mother, so storybook. I almost think everyone who knew him is perhaps making it up. But they aren't. They can't be all this time later. Complete strangers to me, and people he loved long ago, keep telling me that he had a heart that could not be contained. She almost says, this is why he couldn't be here.
So this one is a bit more prosy than poem, so bear with me. So it's called The Things We Carry. Because he's quiet, he'll often be misunderstood. You have to look out for him. My father was young when his mother died. He says to me, before she died, your grandmother told my brothers to watch over me. I wonder if he knows that I should come with the same warning label. I'm like my father, quiet, head filled with words. I care too much, hold in too much. Sometimes I think I'm too sensitive for this world. I'm named after my mother's mother, my grandmother. I look like my mother. In Congo, her childhood friend rests her hands on my cheeks, says, how is it that your mother gave birth to herself? My mother tells me that her father was a quiet man, that he didn't speak a lot, and that he stuttered. When I was younger, I stuttered for years, kept things inside because of it. Now I'm older, and I've learned to control it. But now in those moments where that stutter slips in, I smile. My father tells me that when they fought, his sister would always laugh and say, show me the river where we can wash away our blood. My father tells my sisters and I that his mother would have loved us. I know this is true, but I still wonder what that would feel like. I wonder about the things we carry, about the things that are passed down in our names, our bones, our blood, our bodies. Where are you from? Why are you here? The answers get stuck in our throats. Do you have enough time to talk about generations? Do you know that time zones make as much sense as war zones, which is to say, not at all? Show me where the war was, you're looking at it. Some things never leave you, some fires can never be put out. We tasted smoke for generations. I know it doesn't make much sense when my words always come out broken. I give them to you anyways, take them as you wish. This is an elegy, this is a poem, this is a story, this is a life raft, this is a bridge.
I can kiss the ground.